What's up? Welcome into another edition of Let's Get to the Bottom of That. I'm your host, Byron Dice. And as promised last week, where we left off, we're picking back up with part 2 of Jonestown, a.k.a. the Jonestown Massacre, known as the People's Temple. We cut it up, as I told you last week, because it was a little lengthy. Some people were a little upset about that. They wanted to hear the whole thing uncut, but I felt like some of the listeners would have thought it was too long. So anyway, that's the decision we made, and we have to stick with it because there's nothing we can do. I can't go back and splice it and do another whole show. That would be ridiculous. You know what I'm talking about. But without further ado, we're picking right back up where we left off with healing claims and how they affected, the people of Jonestown. So, whatever I have to say. We're going to take a quick break before the show starts, play a couple of ads, and then so we got to pay some bills, and then we'll get right back into the show. I appreciate you guys listening. Remember, always get to the bottom of that. Getting to the bottom of that just got a whole lot weirder. Welcome to a new series from Let's Get to the Bottom of That. A series that will unravel the tangled web of belief, manipulation, and power within some of the most secretive and dangerous cults of our time. What drives ordinary people to surrender their lives to a cause that to outsiders seems incomprehensible? How do charismatic leaders turn devotion into control, faith into fear? In this series, we will delve deep into the chilling stories of those who escaped the cult's grip, the investigators who sought to bring them down, and the families who were torn apart by its influence. Each week, a new episode will reveal a different cult and its dark history. Revealing the disturbing tactics used to recruit, brainwash, and maintain control over its members. Join us as we explore the origins of a different cult each week, the psychology of its leaders, and the desperate struggles of those who fought to break free. This series isn't just another story about a cult. It's a journey into the depths of human vulnerability, the search for meaning, and the terrifying power of blind faith. Welcome to the Cult Series. Where are we going?
Hit these. We'll hit your stuff later, dude. We're getting there.
Yeah, you're not important.
Yeah, we're.
Did you already do this one here?
I haven't.
Okay, impact of healing claims.
The supposedly, you guys wonder, man, how does a group of like this attract so many people? It's because of those healing claims. The supposed healings were highly effective in attracting the new followers. People came to the People's Temple in the hopes of being cured of their ailments or witnessing miraculous events. The healings were out of the main draws for the movement, especially among the poor and sick who had few other options.
So that was the attraction.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this because you just said that.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me that, and this isn't in the Bible, but somebody said, healing is the dinner bell for the gospel.
Who said that?
What do you think of that? What do you think of that quote? Probably. I don't know. Healing is the dinner bell for the gospel. What do you think of that quote?
That it brings people to Jesus?
Yeah, I'm coming here. I got healed. Oh, okay. I'm saved.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, it sounds like this right here, what you just mentioned, because
Yeah.
they were attracted to that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think it was a.
But then they get sucked in. You may get saved. You may get saved and born again, but then you're sucked in and drinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, like, this guy was.
Gabby Lynn just joined. If you want to call the show, 913-717-9979 to talk to Joey.
Yeah, he was doing some crazy healings, man. And like I said earlier, man, I think some people might have been.
Hey, you know what? God can work through craziness.
Yeah,
you know
matter.
what I'm saying? Especially if it's for an individual that's actually looking for a particular healing, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Hey, nobody wants to be sick, right?
Yeah. Nope.
And if they find out, there's healings going on at the service, let me take care of this. Genuinely, they're not thinking, oh, let me go join a cult or this guy's out of his mind. All they're thinking about is, I want to be well.
Well, I want either that or, like, whenever I was reading all this stuff, it's like I know people that are extremely close to God.
Yeah.
And I mean, as a Christian, it's our desire to be close to God.
Amen.
And for someone like this that's faking all these things, like my next note says, followers believe that he had a unique connection to God or some supernatural power, which made them more loyal and willing to follow his increasingly extreme demands. Because if this guy if granted by God to do all these miraculous things, as a normal person, you would think, I need to do what he does.
And I need to be close to him.
I need to be close to whatever he says.
Yeah.
This guy, this guy's in with the Lord.
Yeah. And that's where the manipulation comes in.
Yeah. When he was faking a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it. So the belief in Jones's healing powers helped him maintain control over his followers. Those who doubted or questioned the healings risked being ostracized or punished, and many people remained in the temple out of fear of losing their supposed protection or health.
Oh, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, you see
Not
how
literally, but that's horrible.
Literally, too, yeah.
Don't step out of line or you're going to lose the healing I got you last month.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, your tide's down a little bit. You may have some air conditioning problems.
What? They still do that, man.
I did it.
Here, scroll down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Scroll down.
I'm trying, bro.
Keep going.
We're scrolling here on the screen, if you didn't know.
Keep going. Keep going.
This is a great podcast, by the way.
Keep going.
You mean to keep going?
Use a roller, bro. Go faster.
Well, I do, and then it goes crazy. You mean to go? Wait, what about all these good notes
We're going back up. I just want to make sure I got something.
Okay, healings of Jones.
We got some good stuff.
Limitations. Oh, these are my notes.
Go to the bottom.
What about my notes? You get them?
Oh, you got the bottom?
Oh.
Did you just type something?
Last night.
All right, go up.
Are you serious?
Go.
Yeah, these are mine. This is what I'm going to talk about with this dude.
I added some stuff in there.
Oh, did you? Good.
Okay, cool. I do have that in there.
Okay, good.
All right, go back up. Down. Sorry about that, listeners. I forgot what I put in my
listeners
notes.
and viewers. So
My goodness.
Are you want to talk about the healings, or you want to exposure and decline?
Yeah.
See, I can't use the scroller because it goes too far, and nobody cares right now. All right, how about here, right here?
Okay, over time,
listeners, we love you.
Especially as the People's Temple grew and attracted more attention, skepticism about the authenticity of the healings increased. Former members and outsiders began to speak out about the manipulations and deceit involved in these events. Journalists and investigators who looked into the People's Temple eventually exposed many of these staged healings, which contributed to the growing criticism of the group and Jones himself. This increased scrutiny was one of the factors that led to Jones to move the group to Jonestown in Guyana, where he could exert even greater control.
So it wasn't about utopia. It was about, hey, I'm getting exposed. Let me get my people out of here.
But he said that it was because of the utopia.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he played it.
So over time, some of the techniques Jones used were exposed, particularly through photographs and testimonies from former members. Some photos, now part of the historical collection, show how the temple manipulated images to maintain the illusion of healing. For example, the temple distributed disappearing photos that were designed to fade when exposed to light, creating the impression that a divine healing was taking place as the image vanished when placed on the affected body part.
Sorcery.
What?
It.
Yeah, click that link.
What? Wait.
That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay, what am I looking at here?
That's the photos that dissolved from him. He'd place it on the body part, and then like the light would touch it, and then it would be like, that was your sickness.
It
dissolved.
photo would be placed on a bunion,
Mm-hmm.
and the bunion would go away.
Yeah.
Well, what is this photo I'm looking at?
That's the dissolved photo. Or it's to be like cancer. Like, this is your cancer dissolving.
Yeah.
In Jesus'
Did
name.
the photo look like this when it was placed on the bunion?
No. It had
Okay,
a
so
picture
it
of
was a.
Yeah, so this is the aftermath of when the
What did it
photo
look like
dissolved.
before?
So like
Was it a picture of Hitler?
Go
no,
back.
like a picture of your gout, right? And so,
Oh,
and then
let's use that, my friend.
Go back to the notes. Click out. Here
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
pretty sure I have it.
That looks like bread, and this looks like somebody's bald spot on the top of a head.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of dissolved photos, man, you know. That's all it is. Who knows? I
was
got
like,
a
why are
picture.
you so obsessed
Just-
about these photos?
Yeah, dude, come on.
Me,
bro.
I was like, what's happening here? Here's what it sounded like you explained to me. I have a blank photo, like a Polaroid. There's nothing on it. I put it on your bunion, and then the bunion shows up on the picture.
No.
So that's my brain
The
went
image,
there.
it says the image vanished when placed on the affected body part
What image?
of the photo.
So there's a photo of a bunion that was on my foot.
Could be.
That they took, and then they placed it on it, and it disappeared on.
Yep. And
Oh,
then
gotcha.
he would be like, this is going to happen to you.
This.
Right.
It's
You will-
almost like you transferred the bunion to the picture
I love it. You're
Mhm.
cooking. You're
And-
cooking.
and then dissolved it.
and then dissolved it in
Mm-hmm.
acid.
And Byron would have ate that up.
Dude,
and then the guy,
please.
the cult leader, sold it back to the member for a little charge.
Well, it talked about that. A lot of people, that's just the photos that they found. You know, there's probably hundreds of these where people are like, "This is my picture of my old.
This is my bunion.
this is my bad elbow.
This is my
dissolved."
bunion. I love him so.
Yeah.
We got to get the bear in here.
All right. So the healings of Jim Jones. These are some unexplained miracles.
Okay.
Quoted by this guy named Don.
I've lost
Beck.
my keyboard
You're right.
again.
What are you talking about, bro?
I've lost it. So we're gonna have to go with scrolling,
That's all right. Scroll back up.
dude.
So this is the words of Don Beck. Okay, let me start off by describing several of my
Okay.
own experiences with Jim Jones, which I cannot explain. And kind of we can go back to how they said he faked a lot of these and see if they fit. So the first occurred just before I went into the peace court. He responded to a question, had I only thought that I only had thought I had met... Wait, why does this read weird? He responded to a question I only thought. I had met Jim once, also almost in passing, when I stopped to visit a friend in the temple on my way to Washington State for my Peace Corps training.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was worried that I might not make it through for several reasons. I took a walk in a forested area and sat on a log next to a small stream, thinking, not writing, about what I should do in my mind.
Okay.
I said, well, Jim Jones, if you know these things, tell me, will I make it through training? In his mind, he said this. 3 days later, I received a letter from my friend in the temple that Jim had called me out, saying that I was sitting on a log next to a stream and worried about something. He had told her to tell me that it would be okay. It blew my mind. I hadn't told a soul about my question, yet I had a letter telling me how he was responding to it.
Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Okay.
That's crazy.
I got a couple of these. I think I have the link if you guys want to go
It's
into
crazy
more,
how
but-
she lied.
What?
That's how crazy it is.
The last incident is the most important to me since it was about someone I loved instead of me. My friend and I married so we could bring foster children into our home. One was 5 years old and had been battered, hit on the sides of its head to such an extent that he'd suffered damage to his ears and loss of hearing. It also meant he was quiet and had speech problems, not uncommon for a kid with hearing loss. He could hardly say his name. We had him checked out. He had 20% hearing loss in one ear and 70% loss in another. Since it was physical bone damage, it would not be able to be repaired. He was going to have to get hearing aids.
Okay.
Danny had been with us for about 2 months when he joined the other kids on the temple's annual summer bus trip with Jim. They spent 1 week in Oregon at a ranch of a member and another week in the beach of Baja, California.
This dude was all over the place.
When they returned, Danny got off the bus, taking away his talking away. speaking clearly and understandably. It was amazing. It was just sort of staring. Oh my gosh, I can't read.
Well, yeah,
I was
it
just
does.
sort
We
of
don't read on the
staring
show.
at him when Jim walked by. He looked at me and then at Danny and then at me and smiled and said,
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. Nothing more was ever said. We had him retested. The 20% loss ear was normal, and the 70% loss was now 20% loss. His hearing was never a problem again. Then he went to say, I recognize their limitations, though the theatrics and deceits that Jim felt compelled to use. As I say, I know some healings were faked, just as I know some were not.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. People often came to Jim initially more for the healings, more than a message of healing your neighbor. We knew that the healings were a way to draw people to the temple for the first time, and some of them did stay. More and more embraced working for a better world, putting religious doctrine questions more on a hold. Jim spoke of this power as a gift, but one that had physical limits, made physical demands on his body, as we had more and more members. It was more of a drain on him to support those members and then perform for visitors. There's a room for people of all faiths, as there was for agnostics, atheists. Jim helped us put aside all the diversion and confusion and arguing about which brand of God was the correct one, so we could just get on with working
Brand
together.
of God.
And then he said that was Jim's true power. He just brought everyone along. Man.
And said, get to work.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
So Don Beck, he was a member of the People's Temple for 10 years. He directed the People's Temple's Children's Choir during the Redwood Valley years and made several trips to
Guyana.
Can't even say it.
You almost said
during
Guana.
during his pioneer days, beginning about 20 years after the tragedy. Shortly after this site went online, he became one of the most dedicated researchers, transcribing Edith Roller journals, reviewing and analyzing Jonestown's records released through the Freedom of Information Act. Anyway, he died July 9th, 2021, following a lengthy illness. He was 78 years old.
Wow.
And that's the link to the thing.
There's the link. Okay, we'll put that up in the description below.
But the claims...
Well, thanks Don Beck for that.
Yeah, the claims of healing were in many cases nothing more than elaborate deceptions used to build and maintain Jim's control over the people, while some followers genuinely believed in the miracle. The reality behind these events were often more sinister. What do you guys think, man? You guys think he faked those, or
because of the end of the story, I would say he was more or less a charlatan and faking. However, like I said, God can use things to get healing to people in the midst of stupidity. So there may have been faking stuff, but there may have been stuff that people actually got because of their faith in God, not Jim.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
I don't think Jim himself, if all the chicken liver stuff, I think it was all a farce.
So you think that guy was just in on it?
Who, Don Beck?
Yeah.
Well, if he knew about it and he was going along with it, yeah.
I mean, it could be anything. It could be black magic. It could be sorcery. It could be witchcraft. I mean,
sorcery.
Those things can still happen. They could still be considered like miraculous things that happen. I mean, go back to Moses when the musicians,
Yeah, Jonas and Jambres.
There you go.
They threw the snakes down. They could do it too.
They could do it too.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but they got ate up by the big one.
Right. So I mean, it's not just because there's signs and wonders. Going back to the Antichrist, there's going to be signs and wonders. And so,
well, sure.
So if that's the case, I personally would consider this guy a Antichrist figure. Yeah. So I mean, of course, signs and wonders to draw people away from the truth, and that's what it was.
You think there was an actual evil spirit?
Yeah, for sure.
Interacting with this dude, or was he like truly believing like I'm doing the right thing?
I think so, because it talks about like him believing he was the Messiah. Yeah. Like they looked at him like a messianic figure.
Right.
And that's a direct
That's Antichrist.
That's Antichrist.
Yeah, so you're
anti-Jesus. Yeah.
So there's definitely something working through.
So
him.
I think he probably did have some spiritual control, some demonic control, and maybe Satan wrapped it up in a way that he thought that it was him.
Hey, look! Yeah, hey, look at this. We're doing good for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Wink, wink.
And he's like,
here's my chicken liver.
Yeah,
surprise!
What's that saying? The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the road to hell is paved with the devil's in the details intentions.
Yeah.
So yeah, because the rolling stone gathers moss if it's on the east side where the sun doesn't shine.
Wow.
Don't stop. Keep on going.
Well, that was it.
Oh,
That was
okay.
it.
Well, so
We'll be right back.
I tried to
We'll be back.
basically, I wanted to kind of, like we talked about earlier, I wanted to, because everyone, we could hit this cult and be like, yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy. But you
Yeah.
can see how people would get pulled into that.
Yeah.
I'm about to talk
You know what
about
I mean?
the guy. His name's Vernon.
Hey, hit some Vernon, bro.
Vernon. And this is going to answer your question that you asked in the beginning of the show. Is that a phone call?
I don't know what that is.
Who's that? Is that yours?
No?
Did you hear that?
Did you
Is that the
hear something?
FBI?
It's the FBI. We're here.
Well, I mean, I've got it turned all the way up, so we should be able to hear if somebody called. Let me check real quick. I got no calls. Okay. Deception. Well, we got 2 live.
Hearing stuff.
Well, we got 2 lives right now, so who cares? But if you want to call the show, the 2 people watching live on TikTok, you can join the show, 913-717-9979, and be part of the show. Because if you're part of the show, it's real special. I'm just saying.
Yeah. We get to hear Jason's voice perk up.
Oh, so Jason, here to answer your question, and I'm gonna get to Vernon in a minute. Vernon was one of the original members, and I'll tell you how he joined and how he almost died.
Yeah.
With his little journey, and this will kind of answer your question if you're still awake.
Which question did I have?
Your question was, how do these people do this? What's the motivation? How do they get sucked in? You know what I'm saying? But here's some little-known facts about Jonestown that you may have not known. Jim Jones' cruelty and madness were rooted in his childhood.
Really?
Now, you went over his childhood, right?
A little bit.
So people have always wondered, hey, Jim Jones, he preaches, racial, equality, turn it evil. But Tim Reederman explained in Raven Jones's dark qualities. He needed to control people. His deceit and his anger toward people who betrayed or abandoned him could be traced back to his childhood in Indiana. And we've talked offline about that, about your childhood stuff coming back to bite you in the butt when you're an adult, right?
Everybody's got it.
Stuff that happens in childhood. A loner. He was a loner during his youth.
Sounds like me.
Jim would entertain his playmates in the loft of his family barn and made them his captive audience.
Oh, okay.
So he's been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
One time he even locked his young friends up in the barn. Red flags? Anyone?
Well, I mean,
I wonder what Jim's going to turn out to be. Jim, can you come in? We got some Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
He performed experiments on animals.
But are they dead?
That's a
though,
red flag.
in the backyard.
He would conduct funerals for them.
Mm-hmm.
So the experiment, and then
This sounds,
Bob's your uncle.
I mean, I sound similar.
Here's a
close
quote.
to this
Chuck
guy.
Wilmore said, "I really thought Jimmy was a weird kid."
Okay.
Well,
There
you're
you go.
playing with animals, and then you're having a funeral and putting them in the backyard. He was. This was a documentary called "The Life and Death of People's Temple." You can go watch that. I didn't watch that one. I did watch one. It was fairly interesting, but I didn't watch that one. He was obsessed with religion. He was obsessed with death. A friend of mine told me that he saw Jimmy kill a cat with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
According to Jeff Gwynn's book, The Road to Jonestown, Jones had an early fascination with Adolf Hitler.
See? Told you he was in there.
When Hitler committed suicide, April 1945, thwarting enemies who sought to capture and humiliate him, Jimmy was impressed.
Yeah. Little did he know,
Can
Hitler
you
didn't
see-
actually die.
Yeah, he's in, where was he at? You said he was in,
Argentina.
Argentina.
yeah, Argentina, with the Die Glocker.
Yeah. He's in there with the Wiener Schnitzel.
Listen, right? Just that one fact points to his ministry and how it all went down. Mm-hmm. Controlling, killing.
Suicide.
I'm fascinated with death. Wow. That's I saw him kill a cat with a knife. That's just traumatizing.
Well, the cat deserved it.
Listen.
Cats do suck, though.
I wish I had a cat sound. Meow, meow. I just did it. I have cats.
I know you do.
But they're my children's cats.
I love you through it, dude. It's okay.
One of these days. As a matter of fact, one of the cats is having seizures.
Really? That sucks.
Man. So we took him to the doctor.
I'll take him to the doctor.
Well, you'll be like Jim Jones.
Well,
hey, let's have an experimental funeral.
We'll send him over to Jimmy J.
So they did blood work. The blood work was fine, but so the doctor said, "Well, I think they have epilepsy."
Dang it, dude! You got to get him on that ketogenic diet, bro.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. My daughter may be listening.
Right back.
We'll be right back. All right. Here's a second fact. Jones moved to his church to California because he feared nuclear war.
Okay.
1955, he founded the People's Temple in Indianapolis. That's a long way, right? Indianapolis to California?
Yeah, it's pretty far.
That's by half the country, right?
A little over half, yeah.
Okay, so the church stood out in the multiracial membership, which Joey mentioned, and everybody loved that. Hey, let's stop segregation. That's a great thing, right? But Jones came across an Esquire article that listed the 9 safe places in the world in the event of a nuclear catastrophe, and one of them was Eureka, California.
Wow, there you go.
So he's like, I got to go to California. He, like Latter-day Moses, would lead the people to live interracially. Jones and his family and about 70 followers moved to Redwood Valley in Northern California. His church empire would later extend to San Francisco and Los Angeles by the mid-'70s. So, dude had quite a range.
Yeah.
I'd call them, well, they call them today campuses. I don't know what they called them back then. But they were just little temples. You could see them on the street. Here's another fact. Jim Jones claimed he was the only heterosexual on Earth.
Everyone else is gay.
Isn't that funny?
With the frogs.
That's funny.
Well,
I don't even understand this. I'm the only one?
Yeah.
It's a bold play.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's a bold
Hey, it means you're gay.
It's a bold play.
I just wonder how he convinced
that
you're actually gay, man. And I want to say that because I love you and I care for you, but I'm the only straight one here.
On Earth.
On Earth.
Ever.
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 What?
The whole world's gay.
Except for me.
Jones didn't always practice what he preached in his personal life. December 73, he was arrested for lewd conduct.
Oh.
What does that mean?
At a Los Angeles movie theater.
He
He
was playing pocket pool.
You said, what does that mean? During his final months in Jonestown, he was addicted to pharmaceutical drugs.
He was digging his pocket for candy just a little bit too long.
Too long.
Yeah.
You don't want to stay down there too long because something's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's got the pharmaceuticals, huh?
So he was a married man who adopted children of a different racial background. So he's all about, getting different races together.
Yeah.
Let's mix them up.
Mm-hmm.
You're mixed, right?
No.
Okay. I know I am.
Every time.
What?
No,
Aren't you mixed?
Yeah.
Italian and French?
Yeah.
Okay.
Italian and
I'm like 95%, Anglo-Saxon white boy. But I've got a little Finnish in there too.
Really?
Yeah, a little Finland.
Okay.
A little Irish, so a little mix. Jim said all of us were homosexuals.
Great segue.
Yeah. Joyce Houston, an ex-Temple follower, said in a Jonestown documentary, everyone except him, he was the only heterosexual on the planet, and that the women were all lesbians and the guys were all gay. And so anyone who showed interest in sex was just compensating. For what?
For being gay.
So I'm gay, so I gotta get you off my scent.
Mm-hmm.
I got to stay in the closet.
But everyone else is gay, so...
Why can't you have gay sex? What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
I mean,
according to Jim Jones.
Well, but I mean, if everyone else is gay, why would they have to stay in the closet?
Yes, you don't need the closet anymore.
Well, the closet's done.
But he said anyone who showed interest in sex was compensating because you're gay. So I'm interested in sex because I'm gay.
People that have a fascination.
What is going on with this dude?
People that have that weird fascination with not being gay, or like usually end up are the ones that are.
Yeah, like I said last episode, I am a deeply closeted gay man.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And that's the most heterosexual thing he's ever said.
Right.
That checks
This
out.
show is awesome, by the way.
Hey,
Joey's back.
skip forward an hour
I'm
and 12
glad.
minutes.
Yeah, I'm glad Joey's back, and I'm glad you were infiltrated all these groups.
Yeah.
We
learned a
can't.
lot.
Well, of course, you didn't do this one because they're all dead. But you did. You did meet some people from the.
Yeah, I
the
did.
church.
I met old Donnie.
Tim Carter, another ex-member, says that Jones hated romantic relationships within the People's Temple because they were seen as a threat to the cause. That's what they always mention in the document. The cause. Like we're doing something. I never knew what it was, but it was the cause.
It was because
of the cause. So that the members should be focused on their work. There we go.
Get your butt
The
back to work.
The work.
Yeah.
That's the work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we
See,
go.
it is my works.
Exactly. See, that's what I was trying to get. I was trying to get you guys involved in this.
That's why you. Okay, my wife Gloria and I were one of those couples who never really talked to each other about our true feelings were about Jones, he says, or anything else because we were afraid that the other one might get called up on the carpet.
Ooh. Yeah, get shamed.
Yeah,
publicly.
You're like, hey Gloria, I know you're gay, but I don't know why you're married to a man. Here's another fact: the People's Temple had a pet chimpanzee named Mr. Muggs.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that? Mr. Muggs was a chimpanzee Jim Jones claimed to have rescued from scientific experiments through a
That's hilarious.
According to Jeff Gouin's book, In the Road to Jonestown.
Hey, Joey, you know how I got this
Dude,
monkey?
Dude,
saved it.
Saved it.
Are you
They were
serious?
doing experiments on it.
Like the chimp made it. The cats, the rodents, the dogs, but the chimp. Hey, I'm keeping the chimp.
It was Caesar, dude, from
It
Planet
was.
of the Apes.
Have you seen the new one?
Terrible.
Yeah, that's right. You hated it. I
Terrible.
didn't hate it that bad.
Really?
No, I didn't. We got a visitor. Should we bring him in?
No.
Get him on the mic?
Bring him on the air.
Yeah.
Who is it?
That's my daughter, my oldest.
Get her on the mic.
Yeah, D-Lo. Hey, we're live streaming, so if you want to come in, just
Come on in. You know some stuff about Jimmy Jones?
yeah. So, Mr. Muggs, Jones may have actually purchased Mr. Muggs from a pet store, and in Indiana, Jones once sold pet monkeys
Pet monkeys.
door to door.
What?
This guy gets crazier and crazier.
Dude, you love all the obscure details.
It's right, because you were like, maybe the guy's not crazy.
You're like,
Dude's
no,
crazy.
This dude had a monkey, bro.
He sold monkeys door to door.
What's wrong with that?
Dude, if someone
did you
if someone walked up with a chimpanzee and said, "This can be yours, $25 right now,"
Bro, I would buy it in
yeah.
a minute.
he's wearing a diaper.
And no, he's in a suit.
He's in a suit.
He's in a little suit, bro.
He's like in a little space suit.
Yes.
This guy just came back from Mars, bro.
No, not a space suit, like a regular suit, like
Either
Benny
way,
Hinn.
I don't care. He's in some
Dress
kind
him
of
up
outfit.
like Benny Hinn.
This guy was literally in Sputnik. I'd buy it.
Oh,
Oh my
1%.
gosh, are you kidding?
How many you got, man?
Yeah.
Muggs became sort of a mascot for the temple under the care of Joyce Touche, whose family were devoted members to the temple. 1973 article from the Temple Reporter, the church's publication, told Muggs' story. Only 18 months old, he has the intelligence of a 4-year-old child. It may sound anthropomorphic, but Muggs will follow every command of Pastor Jones and will defend him when anyone comes up casually to pet the chimp.
Dang.
A bodyguard.
That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many other victims, Mr. Muggs met a tragic end on Jonestown last day. The chimpanzee was shot to death.
So he denied the Kool-Aid too.
He didn't like the
He said-
Kool-Aid. He was like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line.
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. And you're not.
He
gonna
probably
inject
smelled.
me.
He probably smelled the cyanide.
He did. He did. Didn't want it.
Okay. So let me get into, so that's some of the known facts you may have not known. Mr. Muggs and everyone's gay.
Well, I knew that.
You did know Mr.
Yeah,
Muggs?
I knew everyone was gay.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
checks
right
out.
today.
Yeah.
The frogs. But let's talk about Vernon. So November, here, now let's talk about the congressman that went down and got shot. Because you don't really hear that much nowadays.
Yeah.
Do we really care about the congressman?
Well,
I mean, it's a congressman.
he went down November 78. Leo Ryan was his name. He went to Guyana to inspect it. Okay. Because he was they had rumors like some people were being held against their will. They're subject to physical.
They have a monkey.
Yeah, there's a monkey. There's Kool-Aid. He was the following day when he was set to return home. Several members wanted to leave the compound with his truck. They slipped him notes, and then they met him at the airstrip. They got in the plane, and then all of a sudden, Bob's your uncle. All the People's Temple are shooting everyone dead. Only one man, Temple member Larry Layton, was tried in the United States for his involvement in the November 18th because he didn't get killed. He didn't take the cyanide. But he was found guilty of conspiracy and aiding and abetting in the murder of Congressman Ryan and the attempted murder of U.S. Embassy official Richard Dreyer. He was sentenced to life in prison, but he was released in 2002.
Oh, wow.
Another man, Charles Beekman, pleaded guilty to the attempted murder of a young girl and served 5 years prison term in Guyana.
That's it? 5 years?
Yeah, is that all you get? Now let's talk about Vernon Gossey. This is going to answer your question here, Jason. 1972, Vernon Gossey. Just think about this, because you used to be 18.
At one point, right?
At one point, you're 18.
Last year.
You're just out of high school. This guy's in Seattle, Washington. He's living with his girlfriend, Cheryl. By the way, Vernon is white, Cheryl is black. So they're already interracial relationship.
Yeah.
So they're already prime candidates for this type of ministry.
Yeah.
We want the world to live,
In harmony.
equally. So they were alone without any support because both of their families couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
And I can see that in 1972.
It's still happening today.
Yeah. I mean, my wife's black. People hate it. We'll be right back. One day they ran across a flyer. They're walking down the street, and it said Jim Jones, and it was advertising a healing service.
Got him. Sucked him in.
They
right there.
instantly were, it piqued their interest. A healing service? So when they went to the service, they were met with open arms, very welcomed. It just seemed like a great place to go, and people loved on them. The services were very miraculous in nature, and the theme that there was no race in God's eyes. There's no skin color. So they were on board. So right there's your answer. Young, vulnerable, I'm alone, I have no support system.
Right.
Got him. Yep.
That's your inroad right there. So when you get into an environment like this, all these needs are being met.
Right.
The dopamine hits.
I don't think they're dopamine hits. I mean,
I just
sure.
made that up.
Right. I mean, they're just natural things that human beings need. They need community. They need the support.
Right.
They
don't need to be isolated.
People need community. They need to feel like they belong. They need all this. They need to be heard.
Right.
And this cults, especially this one, it gave them that. It gave them all of those things, and they felt safe, and they felt heard, and they felt like they belong.
Yes. So I can 100%. I can't fault Vernon and his girlfriend at all.
No.
I can fault Jim Jones. I mean, it sounded like he had a good message.
Jimmy J.
You know what I'm saying? On the surface.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to watch out for. What's under the surface? The monkey. The monkey and the gays.
Mr. Muggs was down there.
Yeah, he was down there eating chicken livers, throwing.
Had his fill.
Right.
That poor monkey was shot.
Dude. I want to interview the guy that shot Mr. Muggs.
Yeah, we got to find that dude. No, he drank the Kool-Aid for sure.
Oh, did you? So you tried to meet with him?
Yeah,
you were
I
on
did.
assignment. Okay.
Yeah, when I was on assignment, I tracked him down, and he wasn't
Okay,
there.
so they're going to these services, right? Healings, racial, everything's good. Then all of a sudden, Jim Jones mentions while they were in one of the services that he had a community up in Redwood, California.
The Redwoods.
A community. So we could go up there and live rent-free with other people that are like-minded like us, right? So he and his girl said, let's go. So they got there. Everybody's welcome. They're just living around, you know. I just don't see myself ever doing that. Just picking my family up and going into a community out in the woods.
Yeah.
And just, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he noticed after a couple of weeks that he was there, the rules started getting very stringent. No drinking, no cussing, no drugs, no outside friends. You had to stay isolated in this community. Okay?
Sounds like
church.
Church I go to now.
So when I read that, I was like, well, that sounds good. I don't want to drink and cuss. It's just healthy, right?
Hell, that sounds boring.
No outside friends.
Shut the front door. Yeah, don't outside friends. Forget it. So in the fall of 1972, Vernon and Cheryl lived in Redwood Valley for about 4 months. When all of a sudden one of the new rules popped up from Jim. Now the community cannot have any sex.
Done.
Because you must use your sexual energy for the cause.
Get to work.
The cause.
Yeah.
Sexual energy?
What would that entail? Sexual energy.
Just a lot of
gyrating.
Well, I mean, if I'm like, hey, let's go
hip
ride your uncle. No, you need to go get in the fields.
Yeah.
And plant
pick
something.
Up, yeah. Or pick up some cinder blocks.
Right.
That thrust of the hips.
You need to go dig a river.
Yeah.
Which they would. Because, a lot of boxers, they'll deplete themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Just so they can get the anger. They won't have sex before fights.
Really?
I don't know if that's
It is
accurate.
true. It is true because it's something about it like keeps them angered, keeps them because if you have the sex, you're all of a sudden released and you're like whatever.
Well, like right before the match.
Yeah,
sure.
you're not in the back, humping the girl with the card.
Wait.
Did I just say that out loud?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
But
we'll edit that out.
Oh, violation warning.
Oh,
that's been on for a while.
Your live feed is flagged for personal information. Repeated violations could result in your live being discontinued.
There you go. Bob,
Did I say? Was it the gays or Mr. Muggs?
It could have been anything that came out of your mouth at any point in time.
Why are you not at fault?
Because I didn't say anything controversial.
Yeah, that's true.
I like the monkeys.
That's true.
That's true.
And I like the gays.
I am the problem on the show.
I think I said some weird stuff too.
You probably did.
It's all right.
So anyway, sexual energy, you got to use it for the cause. Well, this was the line in the sand for this young couple. Can you imagine you're 19-year-old, you're with your girlfriend, hey, no sex. We're going to bounce.
Yeah.
We're not staying at this commune anymore.
Party's over.
Right. So they packed up in the middle of the night and left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You with me, Jason?
I am.
All right, here we go. Fall of 1973, San Francisco. These two left the commune. They built a life for themselves and started a family. They're like, Jim Jones is behind us. We're going to start a family. This is going to be great. So Cheryl's first child was a boy. During childbirth, she had cardiac arrest.
That's not good.
When they revived her, she was brain dead.
That's good. It's not good.
Doctor asked Vernon if he wanted him to pull the plug. Vernon said no. Guess who he called?
Ghostbusters.
Exactly. Except that was a movie and wasn't real. So he called Jim Jones.
You're not real, man.
What if it's all real? So this is another point. Being vulnerable in your life.
Mm-hmm.
This is a place of vulnerability right here. My wife just had a child. She's brain dead. What am I going to do? Oh, I remember Jim Jones.
I don't have anybody else. No, I don't have no other structure.
He was the only guy that he could figure out that he could help me. So he called the People's Temple, and a member of the church told him that, this is what happens when you leave. These are the kind of things that happens when you leave our community.
Yeah. Wow.
Your air conditioning is going to break, your tires are flat, and your girlfriend's going to go brain dead.
And you don't
That's
have
how it
So you need to come back. So that's what they said. You need to come back right away to us. So in Vernon's mind, of course, he wants Jim Jones to heal Cheryl because he's seen it before in the services.
Right.
When he returned to one of the services, Jim Jones called him out because he was wearing an earring. Called him up on stage.
Get that off your
what
face.
Well, see, that's what I don't understand. If Jim thinks everybody's gay, what's the problem with the earring?
I don't know.
Was it right ear or left ear?
It's probably both.
I have my ears pierced.
Oh, I forgot to say that this is one of the quotes, the members. He said, "You're outside of the aura of Jim's protection." That's what happened to his girlfriend. So he called him up because of the earring, and before the entire congregation, he told him that he was going to feel God's wrath. You're going to feel the wrath of the Lord. And then a group of congregation people jumped on him, tore out his earring, and kind of roughed him up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a welcome home, right? Oh, by the way, can you heal my girlfriend while you're pulling my earring out? So after this, the headquarters was burned to the ground.
Jeez.
And Jim said it was from a bomb under his bus. And then he revealed that there was 3,800 acres in Guyana called Jonestown. And Jim and over 900 people were going to resettle to Jonestown. Little did everyone know. Is that somebody calling? Call us in, 913-717-9979 to be part of the show. So we're going to resettle in Guyana, right? Is everybody with me?
I'm with you.
See, earlier we talked about the government and the media putting all kind of scrutiny on Jim. And then that's why he said, we got to get out of here. Well, he didn't let his members know that. He was just like, hey, our headquarters just got blown up. I don't know how that happened or why it happened, but it did happen. Maybe he did it, and it was a cause for everybody to go, yeah, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So
Let's go to Guyana.
Yeah. That's what
so November 14th, 1978, they're they've been there for a while. And when Vernon got there, he had a son. His son lived. He brought his son with him.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he got off in Guyana to the commune, he immediately knew something was wrong. Something's wrong with this place. It felt heavy. People were working. It was like a concentration camp. Literally like a everybody was forced to work, and it was under very extreme circumstances. It was horrible. So, of course, all these rumors got to Congressman Ryan. So on November 14th, 78, we mentioned that. He visits Jonestown. Vernon is actually the one that slipped Ryan a note. And the note said, help me get out of Jonestown. And then Ryan went over to him and said, you're going to be the first person that asked me to leave. So you're going to have a seat on the plane when we get out of here. We're going to leave in the morning. So Vernon decided it was too dangerous for him to try to get his son to the plane and leave with him, because he thought something may go wrong.
Yeah, leave the kid.
Let me leave the kid and come back and get him later once I can get out of here and get help.
Yeah, no, that you say, hey, the congressman, you say, hey, take my kid so he gets out of here.
Take my kid first.
Take my kid first.
Yeah, you see what's going on here? Take my kid, come back and bring the National Guard.
No, because you got to understand that when the kid leaves, you have to know you're not leaving. You're not leaving.
You're done.
You're done.
So in your mind, you know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to know that my son's gone, that he went with the congressman. I'm done.
That's a good point.
But no, he was a coward.
Dang.
I want to go first.
It's safer for my son to stay.
So it seemed like Jim was going to let Vernon leave Jonestown because he set up a meeting later that night. And for some reason, Jim had his son. And he let Vernon say goodbye to him.
It's disgusting.
Jeez. Louise, better.
So it was almost kind of like a manipulation thing. Like, yeah, go ahead and leave, but guess who I got?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who I've got?
And he was a beta male, and he left and kept his son there. That pisses me off.
Yeah. So when getting into the plane, they started taxiing down the runway. So they're already in position. Props are going. And then all of a sudden, there was a truck that pulled up in front of the plane, so the plane could not get up to airspeed. And then guys jumped out of the truck and just started shooting everybody in the planes. Dang. Now, there was a guy that was with Vernon in the seat that seemed like he was trying to escape as well. He pulled out a gun and shot Vernon in the stomach.
They were in on it.
Shot him twice. Vernon then, this is kind of amazing, 2 shots in the gut. He overpowered the man in the plane, incapacitated him, and then got out of the plane. Mm-hmm. Now, he kind of stumbled into the weeds or the woods beside the airstrip, and then he passed out. He woke up later, but I don't know. The story gets fuzzy. I don't know who got him.
Yeah, he just woke up in intensive care.
Yeah, he woke up into intensive care. I don't know who got him or anything like that. Because after this happened, this was the collapse, and this was at the point that Jim Jones had already had the cyanide ready. Because he had been talking about, he had been asking his members for months, would you commit suicide for me? He would ask them. And of course, when you're in a service and somebody asks you that, and this is that leader that you're following, you're terrified. They said yes, mm-hmm. Because if you say no, I don't. What's going to happen? You're going to shoot me? So he had asked his members countless times. So that's probably prep work for this exact thing that happened here. Because after the attack, he ordered everyone to drink the Kool-Aid. Ordered them, hey, it's time to go. We're collapsing. Bottoms up, folks. Mm-hmm. 909 people, including Jim, died in Jonestown. 300 of them were children. Can you imagine? Because I've seen pictures of this place when they come up on
bodies
it.
Are all
bodies are just everywhere. And you see kids laying.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you could do because you go to the leader and he's stone cold dead.
Yeah.
It's tragic. 5 people were killed at the airstrip, including Congressman Ryan. Vernon woke up in intensive care and was shown in a newspaper all the dead bodies in Jonestown. And they asked Vernon, what was your son wearing so we can identify him?
That's sad.
Should have brought his son with him.
Yeah. I mean, he was going to die anyway, but at least you'd be with your son.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I would go.
I'd
rather, go out fighting than that way.
Yeah.
It's heavy stuff, bro.
I'm going to put the camera
on
wait,
you. And you...
Wait, I got to pull something
why?
up. I'm going to give the mic to you, Jason.
No,
so I got to get something.
Okay.
All the camera's on you, so...
All those people died.
Sing
but we
and dance.
forgot the last... we forgot the last victim that died.
Which one? Muggs?
Muggs.
Yeah, rest in peace, dude.
I don't know why I didn't mention that in some of the documentaries.
This is
I found
another
that
Harambe moment, dude.
What is it?
Harambe.
Rest in peace, Harambe.
Where do I know that from?
Do you know?
Oh, you know.
Is that the zoo?
How could you forget?
The monkey?
How could you forget?
Was that the gorilla?
Forget.
I did forget.
Rest in peace.
Keep talking amongst yourself. I got to pull something
what
up.
What are you pulling up?
Nothing.
Okay, I mean, we have to
this
know
is
what
a
you're
surprise
doing.
for the. No, you don't have to. This is a surprise for the listeners.
Is it the monkey?
No.
Oh, I was.
So
hoping.
talk real quick about why you should not get involved.
No. First of all, don't tell me what to talk about. Secondly,
I'm not gay.
Secondly, Joey.
Yeah, what's up?
Going back to earlier conversation, when Byron says that he's going to bring the heat on our next series.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he understands. I think low key he likes Benny Hinn.
Yeah.
I think he's just trying.
He does.
I think so.
I know because I've had the conversation with him before. All those guys, all those super charismatic people.
No, Joe Osteen.
Y'all, he loves them.
Oh,
what's the other one? Kenny Cope.
Oh my gosh,
loves them, dude. Eats them up.
Oh,
I guess.
Buffalo Dollar.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure Byron was there. He's part of it, dude.
His last name is Dollar.
Dude, this guy drinks the Kool-Aid, bro. He
Who's
does.
that?
You're all up in it.
Here we go. Did you get it? Is this a trailer to a video game?
Well, I mean,
but that'll be a fun one, dude.
That's
gonna be
a fun
fun.
one.
Yeah, because I want to dig into
which one's going to be? Oh, the false teachers.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun, dude.
Because there's so many people that misinterpret and misquote the verse in Isaiah, by his stripes we are healed.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do it?
We're going to talk about it later.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it later.
I'm excited, bro.
Joey's feedback.
Whoa, what is this? Oh, here we go.
Well, I didn't find a good version of this, but this has been requested.
Yeah.
This may not go. Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. It's horrible.
I hear you call my name, and it feels like
home.
Yeah, there we go. Come on.
when you call my name. It's like a little prayer down on my knees. I wanna take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power. Your voice is like an angel sighing. I have no choice. I hear your voice. Feels like flying. I close my eyes. Oh God, I think I'm falling out of the sky. I close my eyes. Heaven help me. Call my name. Like a little prayer down on my knees. I'm gonna take you there in the midnight hour. I can feel your power. It's like a prayer. I wanna take you there.
Good Lord, stop the song.
Okay.
Stop the
Oh
song.
man, that was good.
I
Okay.
didn't realize that song was so hard to
That
sing.
It's Madonna, man.
Hey, that is Mad Anna.
I felt
that is
good.
Madonna.
Thank you, man.
But that was a request.
Yes.
That
Hashtag-
Jason threw out there. I apologize that it was a
Deadpool.
horrible version, but
I know.
my normal guy didn't have this on his playlist.
I know. It's all right.
But we got through it. Dude, thanks everybody for tuning in on our first
Yeah.
episode of the Cult series, The People's Temple, aka Jonestown, Jimmy
Jonesy.
Jones. Rest in peace, Mr. Muggs,
People elbow.
and all the 900 other people that committed suicide.
Yep.
What a tragic story. But it just goes to show you how manipulation with vulnerable people can easily spiral out of control.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Nope.
Dude, we're all just vulnerable out here.
Okay. Well, make sure you visit our website, www.bottomofthat.com. You can check out our blog for all our show resource notes and material. I'm losing it. From there, you can find us on our social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and X, and also on the TikTokers, which that's where we do all of our live streaming is on the TikTok. Oh, Pete the Girl. Thank you.
Hey.
Like the live. Thanks, Pete. If you're listening on YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute, and you like this episode, do me a favor. Like the episode, share the episode, subscribe to the episode, and also leave a comment, because this is going to push out this type of material to other people that want to see it that may not know about us. And that's all about that we're about, is reaching new listeners, because
Yeah.
we're a cult.
Exactly. Come
mean,
join our
Cult
cult.
of personality. But we will not get you to go drink Kool-Aid.
We need a Mr. Biggs, dude. We have
We
to
do
have him.
Mr. Muggs. Oh,
We do have a
I'm-
mascot.
I'm bringing him on next. He's going to be our cult guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm bringing him on next
And I'll
episode.
bring the Flavor Aid.
Thank you. And we'll, you know what? Next time we'll
And
name
Joey will bring the Haterade.
Hater.
Next
Yeah.
time he's on, we'll all decide what we're going to call him, what his name's going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're listening on any other podcasting platform like
Steven.
Apple, Google, or Google got rid of podcasting, so forget that. Like Apple, what else is there?
Orange.
Yeah, apples, oranges,
Bananas.
Spotify.
Banana.
Do me a favor. We need more followers, so share this out with people that want to hear it. And click the follow button, turn on notifications, like click that little bell. And also give us a 5-star rating
Yeah.
when you're out there.
I know
And also comments are back. Comments are back. They're working on the app now. So you can leave a comment. We will reply to your comment and give you a little heart.
Yeah, give us
that
some
we liked
hateful ones too, man.
Yeah, we love it.
Just tear us up, man.
And also,
Double
don't forget
hate.
the poll question of the week, which is who wrote the famous book called Chariots of the Gods? You can scroll down and get that immediately. If you did not like this episode, I thank you for listening this long. And you might want to tune in next week when you might hear Joey say,
Rest in peace, Harambe.
thank you.